Hello team, Shauna L. Francis here. Today is December 12th, 2022, 12/12. Did anybody do anything fun today for that? I didn't. I've been working all day, about boxes, packing. My son came and helped me move some things. Not enough hours in the day. Somehow I need to stretch these 24 hours to be more like, 27 or 28 hours so I can get everything done that I want to get done. As always, running kind of late on making this video, but it's all good. I'm feeling good. Thanks for joining me for today's Ascension Daily Update. And thanks everybody for hanging out with me through all this reptilian disclosure stuff. Thank you, team. Thanks for all your beautiful comments. And, I'm really feeling supported by all of you. And I know this isn't for everybody. And, there's plenty of room for everybody's opinions. As long as we're keeping this respectful and, of love, honoring each other's paths, I'm good with that. I think everybody here is unique. Everybody brings their own perspective. I think for a lot of us, this is resonating. So I'm really happy about that. But for some of us, it just may not. Today, I spoke with two beings, shorter channeling with two beings today. Same idea, going down the elevator, getting out of the elevator, having a seat, and then I get a little tap, tap, tap on my shoulder. And it's like, okay, we're getting started here. So it's happening a little bit more quickly. Interesting today, the being that I saw, I really just saw it was a him. He sat down and these huge long legs. It was like he sat down and like these giant legs kind of, trying to sit in this thing, and he kind of crossed his arms. He had a tiny, like a smaller head. I saw grays and maybe some blacks. Man, I couldn't really see what this being was, what he really looked like. Small head, big black eyes. But just kind of had this stance in this chair. It was really funny, actually. I'm like, well, hello there, my friend. Thanks for so much for joining me. I'm happy to speak with you. Can you please tell me a bit about yourself and your name, where you're from, anything important you'd like to share, please? And this being said, hi, Shauna. This is so fun to get to connect with you here as a human on Earth. This is so great. I'm just thrilled to have this opportunity. I know this is not easy for you, and it's not easy for all of you who are on this path together on Earth. So I love this. He probably knows me or knows us from other incarnations, other missions, other things, maybe from the Galactic Federation of Light. So here they get to interact with me here in embodiment as Shauna. And of course, I don't really remember who and what they are. It's just amazing. All right. And he keeps going here. You chose big missions. Such an important time on Earth. And there's so much light that's needed. I'm happy to see such great participation and people who are feeling so sure of themselves in terms of their identifications as light workers, doing what's necessary to maintain a high vibration and to keep the forward momentum going. Keeping things moving along. Can you feel this excitement in the air, Shauna? Can you feel this rush of something new and exciting and different? Absolutely. How could you not? How could we not feel that right now? And he says here, if you could see the progression as we do, it would amaze you. And I know this has been talked about previously, but each individual or singularity, each person brings a necessary portion of the light to the whole. Everyone is important, now more than ever. Fearlessness as the focal point. And then he got quiet. I said, thank you so much. This is one heck of a ride that we're making happen. He's like, yes, you are. All of you are, Shauna. Believe it or not, I am from the Pleiades star system. I know I may not look like anything you've seen before, but this is where my family is. I too am on the ship and part of the Galactic Federation of Light, working on behalf of the light, bringing this love energy to the planet, to Earth, and other parts of this side of the galaxy. It is quite fulfilling and it is quite busy. I will have dedicated most of my life to these missions, and it's most gratifying. I said, thank you so much. There was another long pause. I said, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Do you happen to have a name that I can call you? And the name that came through was something like Orgel. And I said, is that right? He says, yes, that'll be fine. And then I said, I imagine that these names aren't necessarily really your names, but they're working for us in terms of I'm able to, identify you as a name. And then when they come back, they can say, oh, this is Orgel, or this is Briss, or this is Gelda, or this is whomever, and I will have a frame of reference. So I'm not 1,000% sure that Orgel is this being's real name, but this works in English for us right now for these purposes. So again, I don't belabor this stuff. It's not hugely important to me unless it's somebody really well known like Melchizedek or Cryan or Bashar or something like that. So I think this works for me. It works for him. And then he says, we are getting to the bottom of this. And I said, Orgel, what do you mean by getting to the bottom of this? And he said, we're getting to the bottom of understanding thoroughly how they've been operating. And then I had said, okay, I said, do you have anything to share about the reptilians on planet Earth? And he says, we're getting to the bottom of this. Understanding thoroughly how they've been operating and what's going to be needed to bring balance back to this planet and this entire section of the galaxy. And the plans that are in place now, he says, reflect the deep understanding and knowing and encapsulate the amount of effort and coordination needed. This plan is solid. There may be minor course corrections as we go, but we are feeling very confident now how this is going, where this is going, and expected outcomes. This sounds a lot like the GFL. It's interesting because the folks from the GFL, the themes are very similar to what I had channeled for those 100+ days with the Galactic Federation of Light here not too long ago. It's interesting. All right. And then I just felt my energy just go down deep, like in almost feeling like a trance, like I'm out of body. Just very quickly, this went whoosh. And then I saw the being get up and just walk away. I'm like, okay, did I see that right? So I'm feeling like this energy deepening, and I'm like, okay, thank you so much. I'm like, Melchizedek, are you here? And they said, yes. I said, what just happened? Did he just get up and leave? And they said, yes, this is perfectly normal for his species, for his kind. Don't take offense to it. This is just how they do it. So that was a first. I mean, I'm like, did I just see this guy leave? He just like got up and left. But anyway, I think what was happening is my energy was getting prepared for the next being. I mean, it just, I'd say within 30 seconds, I went from like a 20 to 100 in terms of depth. And my voice changed, everything changed when this next being came in. All right, so it felt like the tap on the shoulder, but I couldn't see anything. But boy, I could feel this being. I could really feel the being, but I was not seeing anything. I mean, just maybe a little bit of red, but it was very etheric. I said, thank you so much for coming through. I feel you extremely deeply. And I said, can you please tell me about yourself? And this being said, I am from the Orion star system. And this is, really where most of the reptilians are coming from, is Orion, at least the negative ones. I am positive polarity, they said. I consult with the Galactic Federation of Light. I consider myself 8th density, and this is why your frequency needed to be fine-tuned and adjusted so that we could carry on a conversation. Yeah, this completely makes sense. So over the last 4 years, channeling different beings, this absolutely has to happen. This adjustment has to happen. And I said, I very much feel that. Thank you. I said, a consultant to the Galactic Federation of Light. And they said, yes. I've been working with the Galactic Federation of Light off and on for thousands of Earth years. I have seen so much, had such incredible experiences, so much to be giving, so much to be contributing, but mostly so much to be experiencing. Infinite, infinite possibilities. And then they continue here. And you, dear, are exercising your ability to experience this. A big job, as they say. So much preparation, Shauna. Readying oneself for such an occasion. Working with so many different groups and individuals across the dimensions. We have assembled quite a robust support structure. Yeah. And this being said, even for myself, with the experience that I've had over so much time, as you understand it, this is unique. This level of coordination is required to bring a planet and its inhabitants up 2 levels of density and evolution, and also to strike back at the malevolent extraterrestrial and earthbound forces who have been present and controlling and exploiting for so very long. Yeah, and then I went even deeper with the energy. I thought, okay, what's coming here that they have to, I had to go so deep with this. And then they continued here. When the full cast of characters has been brought up on stage to be seen in the light, to be regarded by the attendees, the constituents, the societies, no longer behind the scenes, controlling and manipulating at a distance, but to be seen, to be gazed upon, to regard the tenacity, their abilities, and the depths of their debasement, to finally be seen and to be known. Remember, guys, bringing this stuff out of the depths of the shadows and into the light is a good thing. This is really, it's an incredible time to finally be ready to know and understand what's been going on. So as awful as it is, what's been going on, and to hear these things and think, could this really be true? It's really, it's a time for relief and reconciliation here. We have to see this clear mirror. We've got to see what's going on. So this is really, it's a positive move in the right direction. Shauna, this person said, this being said, you will be giving a single voice to the chorus, to the symphony, to the orchestra. You will help synthesize and crystallize and complete the narrative on the reptilian subjugation on planet Earth. You've brought many gifts, Shauna, many gifts to help achieve this, to be successful, to be thorough, and to be effective. There will be an intentional method to the information dissemination. All of this carefully planned out, dear one. Please be patient as this plan is put in motion. Again, I'm sitting down with these beings, and I guess a part of me is kind of wanting the big news, like, let's get to this stuff already. So it's kind of, they started off with a bang with these big reveals, and now we're kind of like, all right, everybody, let's get acclimated to this. This is actually happening. This information's really coming through. Trust your channeling. Trust us. This is good. But when, we're not kind of cutting to the chase and getting to the big juicy things, I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. So they're really asking for my patience here and receiving this information. And this being is saying that there's a plan to how this information is going to roll out. And I completely trust them, honestly. All right. And then they said, enjoy the anonymity of today. Enjoy the relative quiet and solitude of today. As we let everyone rest, come into their center point and hold space. So I guess that's kind of what we're doing right now. We're resting, we're coming into our center point, holding space for what's coming. And then they said, this concludes the messages I intended to bring you today, Shauna. Do you have any further questions? And at that point, I was pretty deep in this meditation. And so I said, I have a million questions, but we're good for now. Thank you so much. It was an honor speaking to you. And then I just took a minute to check in with Melchizedek, all good there, and called it good. All right. Okay, team, I'm going to let you all go for the night, for the day. Thanks again for watching. I'm hoping that you're all doing amazing and really feeling this. I'm enjoying your comments and your suggestions, all of your help, and all the love that's coming my way. You guys are awesome. All right, team, I love you. Mwah.